In this video, I'm going to rank every single Fortnite collaboration by their weapons that can be found in the game. These are going to be all the collaborations from outside franchises that have weapons and items featured in Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. And so this video will be ranking the collab by their weapons and items exclusively in BR. So obviously no LTM exclusives, and will not be considering vehicles, containers, POIs, skins, etc. Honorable mention to the Infinity Blade and the Kingsman Umbrella. While some may consider them collaborations, Fortnite does not officially consider them collabs, so they won't be on this list. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, be sure to use code TYFRYZ in the Fortnite item shop when you make your next purchase. And yeah, let's get right into this ranking video. At number 24, in dead last, and it wasn't even close, it is the Borderlands collaboration, which brought to the game with it cash. Cash is the only item that this collaboration brought with it, and unfortunately, cash is utterly useless. There is not a use for it besides completing a single challenge, and so yeah, there's no way I can rank it in any other position besides last place, just judging it off of the most useless item this game has ever seen. At number 23 is the collaboration with the Predator franchise, and this collab brought us the cloaking device mythic item, and this is one of the most disappointing mythic items we have ever received. You are never really even truly invisible when you are using this item. It's just really bad, and honestly, this is one of those collaborations that I was so excited for when they teased it and they released this whole trailer for it, and it ended up being a total flop. This item is terrible, so consequently, the Predator collab falls toward the bottom of this list. At number 22 is going to be the collaboration with Metal Gear Solid, which brought us the cardboard box in the EMP stealth camo. I mean, what else do I have to say here? Yes, the stealth camo here is a little bit better than the cloaking device that the Predator collab brought us, because at least with the EMP camo, you get that, well, EMP effect, but the cardboard box is totally useless. Just what a waste of an item. I can't believe it's a mythic, to be honest with you. And again, another collaboration that is just so lackluster and should not be a surprise it's at the bottom of this list. At number 21 is maybe a surprising one here. It's the Naruto collab, and this collaboration only brought us the paper bomb kunai. That's the only item we got from the Naruto collab. And going forward for the rest of this video, I am not a fan of the animes whatsoever. I don't watch them at all, so if I mispronounce them, yeah, you have permission to cook me in the comments. But yeah, what else do I have to say? I mean, the other anime collabs are so much better than this one. For some reason, we only got the paper bomb kunai, and that kind of sucks, right? This item is not very good. I feel like there are so many other items they could have added, and unfortunately, just the paper bomb kunai is not going to get you any higher than the number 21 spot on this list. At number 20 is the Saw franchise collaboration, which brought with it the Boom Billy. Again, just the Boom Billy is not good enough to be any higher up on this list. It's not a bad item, right? Like, it's okay. It was only in the game for a little period of time in that Chapter 5 Season 4 FORTNITE event. I'm sure we'll see it again for next year's FORTNITE event. It's cool, right? It's creepy. It does what it's supposed to do, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty lackluster item. And continuing on with the lackluster items, at my number 19 spot is the Ship in a Bottle, which came with the Pirates of the Caribbean collab. So yeah, that's the collaboration at this spot. Again, another super disappointing collab in terms of the items we got. I mean, the Ship in a Bottle is just not good, right? It looks cool, and you think like it should be good, right? Hypothetically, but it just doesn't really play out that way unless there's like one specific situation where somebody is sitting in a box healing and they don't have time to move. I feel like you definitely get more usefulness out of this item than something like the paper bomb kunai or the cardboard box, obviously. But again, at the bottom of this list, we've got some really disappointing collaborations here, and the Pirates of the Caribbean one is no exception. At number 18 is the Futurama collab, which brought with it Bender's shiny metal ray gun, and that's it. Up to this point in the list, yeah, this is clearly the best weapon here, but that's not really saying much, right? Bender's shiny metal ray gun is really considered one of the worst SMGs of all time. It's a bottom feeder weapon in the grand scheme of Fortnite weapons. And again, it's another collaboration where I feel like they really missed the mark. Like, they could have done so much more. Just give us one more item, please. But no, they just gave us the shiny metal ray gun, and so yeah, that's why it's at this point in the list. All right, and here's where things start to get a little more interesting, because at my number 17 spot is the Mortal Kombat collaboration, recently from Chapter 6, actually. With this collaboration, we got Sub-Zero's combat kit, Scorpion's combat kit, and don't forget the First Blood medallion, which was basically the first bullet from the magazine causes an explosion. I honestly just think these are three incredibly underwhelming items. I mean, first of all, Sub-Zero's combat kit is just one of the worst things I've ever used. It feels so painfully slow, and almost every other melee weapon in Fortnite history I genuinely think is better than this. Scorpion's combat kit, in my opinion, is significantly better, but still not a top tier melee weapon, and this medallion is kind of in the middle of the road towards the bottom of every single medallion. I mean, it's just not really useful, and this video's got me thinking, if you want me to rank every single medallion again, yeah, I should definitely be doing that soon. But yeah, again, just a really underwhelming collaboration. These items just aren't great. At number 16 is the collaboration with the Fallout franchise from Chapter 5 Season 3. That brought us, unfortunately, the Tri-Beam laser rifle, but fortunately, the nuke Nuka-Cola item. I feel like Nuka-Cola goes kind of forgotten about, but this is actually a really, really good healing item. Is honestly what carries it this high up on the list, because we all know Tri-Beam Laser Rifle really isn't that good. Granted, I would much rather have the Tri-Beam Laser Rifle than I would Bender's Shiny Metal Ray Gun or Sub-Zero's Combat Kit, that's for sure. But again, I think it's this far up on the list not because these items in particular are good, but because the rest of the list has just been so bad so far. Moving on to number 15 is a collab I guarantee you forgot happened. It's the Uncharted collab with Drake's Map. I honestly forgot that this was a collaboration in its entirety, but I remembered Drake's Map. Yeah, that's for Nathan Drake from this franchise, and it's just a buried treasure map. That's all it is. And unfortunately, it's hard to rank this item because at the end of the day, it is all just luck on what you get. You could open it, get, 3 horrible legendary items, or you could open it and get 3 or 4, however many great legendary items. You also have to consider that, those items don't just spawn in on you. You got to go hunt down the treasure and find it, which, could be halfway across the map. It could be in zone by the time you find this item. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty fair spot for it, starting to get into those, more decent items, but not an item that I think you look back in the grand scheme of Fortnite history and you're like, oh, please bring back Drake's Map, right? No, I don't think that's the case. At number 14 is the Metallica collaboration, which brought with it Ride the Lightning, and I guess technically you could consider the Conductor's hand cannon as a collab weapon as well. I mean, it was brought with the Metallica collab, but it's clearly not a collaboration weapon. I mean, it's got the Conductor's name on it. All right, you guys see why I'm getting confused here. Regardless, I don't think the Conductor hand cannon would really move the needle whatsoever. So let's just focus on Ride the Lightning. And yes, while this is a great mobility item, it's super fun to use, super cool that you got the song like pumping in the background while you're just like shredding air with the guitar. At the end of the day, the fact that people can follow you, to me, just makes this turn into kind of a glorified Rift-to-Go. It's a cool item, it's really neat, but at the end of the day, there are plenty more mobility collaboration items that will be higher up on this list. At number 13 is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab, and we got all 4, of course, of the melee weapons. They all actually function identically. There's no different stats between them. So yeah, they're all here together. And the Pizza Party item, which yes, is technically considered a collaboration item, but obviously, you have the separate Pizza Party item that's not a collaboration specific one. Obviously, with this collaboration, you're really just focused on the 4 melee weapons, and they're decent, right? They're not like top of the line melee weapons, but the fact that you get the mobility with them kind of makes them almost like a Kinetic Blade reskin. And obviously, the Kinetic Blade is considered to be a pretty good item, especially for mobility. So while I don't consider these to be like top tier items, they're still pretty decent and honestly get that middle of the road spot for this list. At number 12 is the Transformers, which gave us the Cybertron cannon. I absolutely love the Cybertron cannon, and the only reason it's not higher up on this list is at the end of the day, it is a launcher. And one, I understand that a lot of people don't really like to use launchers, and two, you can be kind of limited with this weapon. For one, it kind of acts like a flint knock where it will knock you back if you shoot this thing while you're jumping or something like that. I have gotten killed plenty of times doing that. And two, while yes, it does have infinite ammo, and that is a good thing, you only get 2 shots before you have to wait a long time before your next shot can come up. So at the end of the day, you're getting great damage. You're getting a very fast moving projectile. You can literally third-party fights from like 200 meters away here. Is it the best launcher in Fortnite history? No, I don't think so, but it's really, really serviceable. At number 11 is the DC collaboration. This far down on the list, right, we've got a bunch of items here. Batman's grapnel gun, the explosive batarang from Season X, and then you've got the Wingshot grappler, Superman sprite, and yeah, I'm going to include the crypto treat here as well from Chapter 6, Season 3. And what carries this placement is the Batman grapnel gun and the Wingshot grappler, right? They're basically the same thing, but these are great mobility items. I mean, you've seen, especially if you're using the exploit, they are so good and so hard to kill someone who's using that exploit with these items. I feel like the explosive batarang is whatever, right? It's a decent grenade. It's better than something like the paper bomb kunai, but it's nothing crazy. Again, Superman sprite, just kind of mid, and the crypto treat, in my opinion, just sucks. So really, this placement is entirely carried by the Batman grapnel gun and the Wingshot grappler, and I think around that 50% mark is a fair spot for it. And number 10 is Godzilla from Chapter 6, Season 1. We got the Godzilla medallion, which, as you guys know, functions identically to the Cerberus medallion, and the Godzilla fragments, which again, kind of does the same thing, right? Except if I remember correctly, it gives you a shield, right? I don't really have a lot to say here. They're just 2 very, very good items. Like, they are just genuinely very solid. I don't have anything else to say, and I think they're deserving it to be inside the top 10 with the Godzilla collaboration. And number 9 is going to be the Family Guy collab, right? We got Peter Griffin's hammer pump shotgun and Peter Griffin's medallion from Chapter 5. Now, of course, Peter Griffin's medallion, that is kind of on the back burner here because medallions in Chapter 5 really just didn't do anything for you unless you had a bunch of them stacked up. That's where you really got the value. Of course, you do get value by holding one of them, but of course, Peter Griffin's medallion alone is not going to win you a game. But his hammer pump shotgun, yeah, that can win you a game. You've got a mythic pump shotgun, which I think a lot of people really disrespect this thing because it cannot one-shot headshot. But let's be honest, right? At the end of the day, do you want Peter Griffin's hammer pump shotgun or explosive batarangs or crypto treats or the Batman grapnel gun? I mean, depending on your loadout, right? I'm going to say you're probably going to go with the mythic pump shotgun. That's a safe option. It was just outclassed by the Frenzy Auto that season. Number 8 is the Jujutsu Kaisen collab, which brought us the Straw Doll technique and the Hollow Purple. This came from Chapter 4, and honestly, you've got two pretty solid items here. Hollow Purple, you know what you're getting, just a giant ball of energy. It's just going to eviscerate everything in front of it. And the Straw Doll technique, while I think a little bit less useful, is still really good. It's great pressure, it's fun to use, it's got infinite ammo if I remember correctly, so yeah, I don't really have any complaints with this collaboration. And since you've got two very solid items here, it's deserving of this placement. And we've got another anime collab here at the number 7 spot is My Hero Academia, and this brought us Todoroki's Ice Wall and Deku's Smash. Now, if I was ranking this list solely based off of zero build, this could be at the number 1 spot, genuinely. Like, Todoroki's Ice Wall is that good in zero build, and Deku's Smash, regardless of what game mode you're playing, is still going to be good, although I think it's more effective in builds mode. And obviously, I have to take into consideration both modes here, and in the build mode, Todoroki's Ice Wall is, let's be honest, just kind of useless, right? I know there's a couple of exploits you could use to, get in someone's box by using it, destroy other people's builds. But again, you've got two really solid items here, and that's why it's just 1 spot ahead of the Jujutsu Kaisen collab, because I think Deku Smash is better than Hollow Purple. And we've got another anime collab coming down the pike here. It is the Attack on Titan collab, which brought to us the Thunder Spears and the ODM gear here. And of course, this spot is really for the ODM gear. And honestly, if the Thunder Spears were like any type of good, this would be so much higher, this Attack on Titan collaboration. But unfortunately, the Thunder Spears are a little lacking, and I don't really need to glaze ODM gear any more than I have. You guys can literally watch like any mobility video that I've done on this channel, and the ODM gear will be glazed in it. Unbelievable item, right? And if you had asked me to take ODM gear or something like Deku Smash, surprisingly, I'm going to go with ODM gear. And we've got another anime collab here at number 5 spot. It's the Dragon Ball collab, which gave us the Nimbus Cloud and the Kamehameha. Telling you guys, if I butchered it, I'm gonna get ripped for. I do in every single video. And you know what? This is a great Fortnite item. It is borderline broken, right? Same as, Deku Smash and Hollow Purple. I think this is the best out of the 3 of them, but this thing will just eviscerate anything in its path. And yeah, I mean, you guys know how it works. I don't really have to talk a lot about it. But genuinely, the Nimbus Cloud, I think, is one of the best mobility items of all time, right? It's similar to something like Silver Surfer's board, and the ability to, drop out of the glider at any point, especially in this point in Fortnite history where, players' aims are just getting so much better that hitting a launch pad or being your glider is almost a death sentence. So being able to drop out of it whenever you want with no fall damage is huge, and here you've got two genuinely superstar items. These are great items. But to me, it's beaten out by Avatar, right? This collaboration brought us waterbending, airbending, earthbending, and firebending. Now, earthbending and firebending are kind of whatever. Like, I think they're pretty bottom of the road. I think they're just kind of mid, let's be honest with you. But waterbending and airbending are two unbelievable mythics. They're probably top 25, 30 mythics we've ever gotten in this game. And that's being pretty conservative. I mean, you could probably even throw them inside your top 15. Waterbending, just unbelievable damage, right? Got buffed to the absolute moon. And airbending is one of the best mobility items we've ever gotten. So it shouldn't be a surprise that Avatar is this high up on the list, let's be honest. And now we're inside the top 3. And in my opinion, these are the 3 real big boppers. These 3 had to be in this list here within the top 3. And at my number 3 spot, I'm going with the Star Wars collaboration. Now, this might be a surprise because we've just gotten so many Star Wars items. I mean, we literally had an entire season just devoted to Star Wars, and we've got a lot of really good here, right? You've got the ACP Scatter Blaster, the Jawa. A lot of people like the A280, the IQA11, of course, is unbelievable. The lightsabers, the DL44, just all really solid items. But unfortunately, it's held back by the fact that you've also got a lot of really bad items, right? The pre-Chapter 6 E11 and First Order Blaster Rifle are genuinely some of the worst mythic items we've ever gotten. The BARM ST12 Scatter Blaster absolutely sucks, and Phasma's Medallion is another medallion that I think is really a bottom feeder. And so yeah, while you've got some absolute really just great collaboration items here, unfortunately the bad ones hold it back from being inside the top 2. Remember, more is not always better. We're looking for some high quality items here. You want to talk about high quality items? Well, you've got it with the rapper collaboration. Now, I'm putting all the rappers here together. I mean, let's be honest, they were all jumbled together in Chapter 2 Remix, and that's going to include Ice Spice's rifle, Ice Spice's grappler, RG's minigun, Juice's chug cannon, Snoop Dogg's drum gun, and the double G bomb. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. And every single single item here is so good. Even the weakest link, maybe the double G-bomb, is still considered a really good item. Everyone knows how powerful boogie bombs can be, especially in this car era of Fortnite that we're in. This spot literally contains like 3 of the best mythics in Fortnite history in Ice Spice's rifle, RJ's minigun, and Snoop Dogg's drum gun. And of course, her grappler and Juice's chug cannon are nothing to scoff at either. They are great items. And the reason why the musician or the rappers are so high up on this list is just because there's nothing bad. You don't have any bad item that holds it back. But at my number 1 spot today, guys, could it have been anything else besides the Marvel collaboration? No, it couldn't have. It is so obvious it was going to be here at the number 1 spot. Some of my videos, I've got a tough time thinking, what am I going to put at the number 1 spot? For this video, it wasn't even close. I mean, you've got so many collaboration items here. And again, it's not that you've got a lot of them. You've got a lot of really good quality items. Spider-Man web shooters, the Stark Industries rifle, basically all of these superpowers besides like Storm's Whirlwind Blast and Black Panther's kinetic one, Emma Frost Striker Burst AR, Hover Jets, Shuri's Black Panther Claws, Emma Frost Reveal Medallion, Magneto Power. I mean, do I have to keep going? Obviously, yeah, you've got some bad here, like Mysterio's Stealth Medallion and the Stark Jetpack, but there are just so many really good Marvel items, and honestly, no other collaboration stood a chance against Marvel. It is by far the most popular Fortnite collaboration we've ever seen. It has the most items by a country mile, and like 90% of them are genuinely really, really good items, and that's why it's at the number 1 spot today on this list. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it's a little bit of a longer one, and I know I just did a collaboration video, but this is one of those videos that the idea just came to me, and I had to do it. If you did go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like and consider subscribing. We are pushing for 100,000 subscribers, and with all that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace.